Nobody has ever captained a warship like me. Nobody. The admiral said I needed training. I said I have natural instinct, which is frankly better. We were heading toward Karg Island at full speed, and I have to say, it looked tremendous from up there. Just tremendous. The ship had all these warning lights going off. Red lights, beeping, the whole thing. One of the officers, very nervous guy, kept pointing at him. I said, those are for people who are uncertain. I am never uncertain. I turned the lights off. Problem solved. The crew started panicking, which I thought was very unprofessional, honestly. Running around, shouting, very chaotic. I just stood there, calm, presidential, because I knew exactly what was going to happen. I always know. That is what makes me, frankly, a very stable genius. We made landfall. Some people are calling it a crash. I'm calling it a precision docking. We needed to get to that island fast, and we got there fast. Nobody has ever gotten to Karg Island faster than me. That is a fact. You can check it. The ship was now perfectly positioned on the island, right where I wanted it. The media showed up very quickly, which I expected because everything I do is extremely newsworthy. Helicopters, cameras, the whole thing. They love covering me. They can't help it. Everyone left the bridge. I stayed. Captain does not abandon his ship, especially when the ship is sitting on an island perfectly fine. I looked out at the view, and I have to say, beautiful. Some of the best tilting I have ever seen. There was a general outside who had his face in his hands, very weak. Generals today are not like they used to be. The journalists were all there too, all filming. I waved. They filmed the wave. Great coverage, really great. I went below deck because I had a preparation to do. I always come prepared, always. I had acquired, through very legitimate channels, a performance enhancement serum, Trump serum, incredible stuff, the best. I injected the full amount because I do not do things halfway. Did it hurt? No. I have a very high pain threshold. Doctors have commented on this many times. The serum worked immediately, which I expected. My body responded extremely well because I have excellent genetics. The suit, beautiful suit by the way, very expensive, could not contain the results. Buttons were flying. Fabric was tearing. I stood there completely calm while this was happening because I had planned for this. A sailor in the hallway fainted. I did not faint. I never faint. I came back up on deck, and I have to say, the reaction from the crowd was unlike anything I have ever seen. Total silence at first, then gasping, which is the correct reaction. I had changed into a more tactical outfit, very authentic, very military. The headband was my idea. People have said, many people, very important people, that I look exactly like Rambo. I think that is accurate. The physique speaks for itself. I have always had tremendous muscle definition. It was just not always this visible. Now it is very visible. I stood at the front of the ship and looked down at everybody. Total silence. You could hear a pin drop. That is the effect I have on people. I raised my fist and I pointed the gun at the sky and I said, "Today we take the oil." Nobody said anything. They were too impressed. I jumped off the ship 30 feet, approximately, maybe more. People were screaming below, but I think that was excitement. I was in complete control the entire time. With the enhanced physique, the jump was actually very easy. My doctor, a very respected doctor, said it was the most impressive jump he had ever seen on paper. I landed, perfect landing. There was a small indentation in the ground, which shows the force of my landing, which was extremely powerful. I straightened my headband. I fixed my hair. Still looked great, by the way, and I gave the thumbs up. Classic move. People love it. I ran to the oil facility and very fast, extremely fast, much faster than before because of the serum, which I had anticipated. The security guards at the gate just stood there. I walked straight through. Nobody stops me. It has never happened. I found the control room, and I have to say, I understood it immediately. All these levers and buttons. I started operating the equipment very instinctively. The workers were yelling something, but the machines were loud, so I couldn't really hear them, and I was very focused. The oil came out, not a very good. Massive amounts, really shooting up there. Beautiful, actually. I was covered in it, which I did not mind at all because oil means money and money means winning. I stood there with my arms open and I let it rain down on me. Very cinematic moment, honestly. I won. Complete and total victory. The oil was everywhere. I was covered in it. My hair still perfect. I raised my arms and I screamed, I am so rich now. Trump wins. Nobody believed it was possible, and I did it anyway. That is what I do. That is what I always do. You're welcome, America.